Years later, Zuri stepped onto the same campus Kofi once described. As an college exchange student, Kofi has once recommended her to apply for so they can be in close distance with each other once again. Heads turned. Of course they did. She was still tall, still impossible to ignore, but this time, she didn't shrink inside. She stood proud. Kofi spotted her across the courtyard. Same eyes, same smile. He ran to her. "You made it," he said. "I always was going to," she replied. And when people whispered, when they stared, when old insecurities tried to creep back, Zuri just smiled. Because she had learned something powerful. You don't need to be smaller to be loved. You don't need to hide to belong. And sometimes, the person who feels like too much is exactly the one someone else has been waiting for all along. When Zuri arrived at the university, the first thing she noticed wasn't the buildings or the polished walkways. It was how small everything felt. Not physically, socially. Everything here was curated, controlled, measured. People laughed a certain way, dressed a certain way, even walked like they had somewhere important to be, even when they clearly didn't. And then, there was her, Zuri. Too tall, too noticeable, too much. But then she saw Kofi, and suddenly none of that mattered. He didn't walk to her. He ran. Like the distance between them had been a mistake that needed correcting. When he reached her, he didn't hesitate. He pulled her into him and kissed her again. This time, it wasn't soft uncertainty. It was relief, longing, certainty. Zuri's hands, so big, so often joked about, rested gently against his back, like she was afraid to hold him too tightly. When they pulled apart, Kofi laughed softly, a little breathless. "I've been replaying that in my head for months," he admitted. Zuri smirked. "You should have practiced more." "Oh, I did," he said. "Just not with you." She narrowed her eyes. He raised his hands. Books, pillows, once, a mango. Zuri burst out laughing.